Crisis Intervention Team.
Nice to meet you.
So I hear you had a rough day today.
Rough. Yeah.
Yeah?
It was a rough day. Yeah.
How are you feeling right now?
Nerves are shot, for
Yeah.
sure. I felt like I was hit by a truck.
You feel like you were hit by a truck?
Yeah.
What happened today?
One of my clients, regularly scheduled appointment, came in and I had to discuss the results of his tax from last week.
Okay. And so you confronted him about his tax?
He tested positive
Okay.
for cocaine.
Okay.
This was an unexpected, this was a relapse that we didn't see coming. He had been very successful in, his treatment and stuff like that. And when I confronted it on him, he got very apprehensive
Okay.
and very angry.
Okay. Yeah, angry, and then
Verbally assaulted, not assaulted, but verbally attacked me.
Okay.
Saying he was sick of the therapy, he was sick of the treatment, he was sick of all the procedures that he had to go through because of probation.
Okay.
And he knew, we both knew, I was going to report it to the probation officer.
Okay.
And he said, well, if I have to suffer the consequences of it, and he's sick and tired of it, that I should have to suffer too.
Okay. Oh, so implying that he was threatening you essentially.
He was definitely threatening me.
Okay.
It continued to escalate, and I tried everything that I could to bring him back down. But I started to feel uncomfortable. I couldn't get control of the situation, so I, as policy says, hit the help button underneath my desk.
Okay.
And which alerts my supervisor and 911, but he got up and he pushed me right off my chair.
Okay, so he got up and pushed
He
you
got
out
up
of the chair
physically.
once he saw you.
Yes.
Okay.
He saw me go for the help button. He knew something was going to go on, and he physically got up, pushed me right off the chair, and I fell into the ground.
Wow, that's a pretty
Yeah,
big...
it wasn't, it felt like it was 20 minutes long. It probably was only a 10-second scenario, but...
Right. And you've only been counseling for like 2 or 3 months now, right?
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, talk about a shack.
Is this your first job in the field?
It is.
Okay.
It is.
Yeah, that's kind of scary, and that doesn't happen usually, things like
No.
that.
Well, good to know.
Yeah. So, you seem pretty nervous right now. Right now, how do you feel?
Right now,
Yes.
bunch of nerves.
Bunch of
I had
nerves?
a lot going on.
Okay. What's going on?
I'm questioning the situation. I'm questioning what I did.
Okay.
Did I handle it right? I don't know. Like I said, 2 months into it, and this was the first time this kind of escalating scenario. So,
Right.
I mean,
Okay. So you're questioning your Like
ability
your
as a
clinical
counselor, pretty
judgment.
much. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I mean, is there something in particular that you feel you want about?
You know, I thought I was doing the right thing.
Okay.
And then, you know, I had to report it to his probation officer. I was
Okay.
just doing what I legally had to do.
Okay.
And I saw him getting upset, but I kept pushing, I guess, you know, I kept pushing the scenario and talking about it, and it just, I couldn't get control of the situation.
Okay.
So that's why I alerted for help, and
Okay.
you know, my supervisor came, knocked on the door.
Yeah.
911, you know, is automatically alerted when you hit that button, so they
Yeah.
came, the police came, and they got a handle of it.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds procedurally like you went through everything, you know, and
Yeah.
especially as a new counselor. I mean, I'm sure that, you know, you're not used to dealing with the crisis.
No,
No.
I wasn't prepared for it.
Yeah, and I'm sure that your heart was probably going a million miles a minute.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it made me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It made me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, and then in a sense, I felt bad.
Okay.
And it was weird. It was like I was angry that it was going on. I was afraid.
Right.
Then the scenario played out, and then I felt guilty. You know, it was a big range of emotions that I felt all real fast.
Okay.
So I'm still kind of trying to fish out.
You felt guilty. And explain to me real quick this feeling of guilt again that you're feeling.
I mean, my client, who I've been seeing for a while,
Right.
really, we've had really great sessions. He's been really
Okay.
successful and stuff like that. And then to see that I, in a way, pushed him to that point,
Okay.
you know, I just feel like I played such a significant role in it that,
Okay.
I don't know, I feel like maybe if I would have taken a different approach, I don't know, with my words or with, you know, or how I approached him, or if
Okay.
I would have done something differently, I don't know, maybe I could have stopped this and he wouldn't be,
Right.
you know, in jail.
Okay. Well, just realize too. I mean, your clients understand when they come in. I mean that they're kind of signing on to this type of treatment. You know, and that, you know, probation's going to be updated, the court's going to be updated. You know, so in a sense they're kind of agreeing to this process. So I don't want you to think that because he reacted this way that he was justified in his actions. He's not at all. Do you feel that he was?
No, I don't think he was justified, but then I wonder if I should, you know, I tell my clients all the time when we go over, you know,
Right.
all the procedural things and their rights and to know, but I don't know, should I have warned him, like, oh, don't mess up, you know, or
Okay.
I have to tell your probation officer, like, should I have front-loaded him with that, or,
Yeah.
you know, I just wonder if I followed what I'm supposed to do as a counselor, but also what I'm supposed to do as a human being,
Right.
too.
And these are
It's
good
hard to-
questions to ask yourself right now. But at the same time, I think it's important that when you realize that this is, you probably notice it's a big process now that this has occurred. You're talking to the supervisors. You'll have to do an incident report,
Yeah.
but you'll have time to process specifically, you know, the session itself and the case, you know, with your supervisor. You know, so from a clinical standpoint, you know, you're going to be able to kind of go through and really check to see, you know, if there's anything that maybe could have done better. And in all likelihood, you probably did everything you're supposed to do. You know.
Yeah, but in the heat of the moment,
Right.
you know, you don't really.
Yeah. And you don't.
You
and
second guess everything.
you second guess, and especially as a new counselor, I mean, you're just gaining your confidence, being able to, you know what I mean, direct a session and get through these kinds of situations. So,
Yeah,
you know,
survival.
I mean, you have to learn how to do these things. You know, it doesn't come naturally to just everybody, and it doesn't come naturally to anybody to handle a crisis situation. So,
Well, you think you're prepared for it until you live it.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
One of the things that I want to make sure is that, you know, because typically in situations like that, I think you talked to your supervisor, Mickey, that I think what they giving you 2 days off.
Yeah, he recommended that just so like you said, that I have time to process it
Okay.
from all aspects of it, because I'm still, again, trying to separate my role as a counselor from just, you know, I don't know, my role is, you know, where that guilt comes into play, where I just feel like, what did I do, you know?
Okay.
So
Okay.
I feel for him. I like my client. I mean, I really like him, and I feel bad, but again,
Okay.
I can't change that. So.
In your time off now, do you live with anybody? You at home?
I have my own place, but I'm with my fiance pretty much all the time.
Okay. Is somebody you can talk to about the...
I can. He's a teacher,
Okay.
so we kind of usually just like
Yeah.
how was your day? How was your day? And you know,
Right.
if there was a problem with one of the kids, he jibber jabbers. And then
Right.
if I have something about my clients, obviously with confidentiality, I'm not allowed to
Right.
use names. But we usually kind of de-escalate or vent our day out so it
Okay.
doesn't transpire, throughout the rest of the day.
Okay. Yeah, because I know confidentiality has to be maintained
Yeah.
with clients, but at the same time, I think it's good to feel like you can vent a little bit about what's going on.
Yeah.
Even more so at a different level. If you're feeling anxious when you go home,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is a big thing that happens to you today. So, I mean, as long as I feel that you're going home, that you can talk to somebody, that you're not going to kind of feel isolated.
No, I know. I need to find a sense of calm. I have to breathe a little bit.
Okay. Okay.
So I could do that with him.
Okay. Anybody else that you feel that you're going to be able to talk to about this?
Um,
You're going to need to talk to about this?
Someone. I mean, I'm still a little uncomfortable
Yeah.
from a professional standpoint. What
Yeah.
my responsibilities are if this situation happens again. So I would like to follow up
Okay.
to see what to do. Almost like what to do if
Right.
this happens then, if this
Right.
happens then. Besides protocol, pressing a button, I want to make sure that I'm setting myself up for success in another situation like that.
Okay. I think that what we'll do is we'll actually give you the number for EAP,
Okay.
or the Employee Assistance Program, and I've worked with a therapist, maybe just to see them a few times to kind of process this in the long run.
Okay.
You also have a chance when you come back to talk about your specific client with your supervisor, in
Okay.
supervision. So you kind of be able to dissect what happened, so you're looking at it more from a clinical perspective, but at the same time I want you to kind of have an overall sense of, I guess closure is a good word.
Yeah, that would be,
Yeah.
I think that's like the final piece that
Yeah.
I need. I need to close this and move on to the next. I really don't want this situation to affect me as a counselor or
Right.
change, make me apprehensive about my other clients. That especially if I have my next client, when I come back in a couple days, I don't want them. The minute I see a positive tax, am I going to be afraid to confront them? Am I
Right.
going to be afraid about that? So
Right.
I just kind of
Yeah, so you have a few specific fears that you want
Yes.
to kind of work on.
Yep.
Some things that are kind of triggered in you now.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't want the triggers to get me every time.
Good. And it's good because it sounds like you have a good sense of self-awareness about the process. You've kind
Yeah.
of quickly identified some of your concerns,
Yeah.
which is good because if you can identify them, I think that you can then begin to work on them. And also, once you put some time between yourself and the situation
Yeah.
process,
All fresh.
It's very fresh.
Okay.
Do you feel that this is something that is going to, how can I say it? Do you feel you're going to be able to return within a few days? I guess.
Oh yeah, I think like I said, I think I just need my time to cool off and understand it, and really rationalize it with myself.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll be fine in a couple days. But
Do you have any further concerns about the situation, or?
no, I mean I'd like to follow up and see what happens with my client. I mean
Okay.
that's another question that I'll have to ask during supervision.
Right.
Is my follow up with my client? Will I still be able to be the counselor? Will I still, I don't know how that's gonna work.
Right.
Because again, I still have this emotional attachment to him as my client. So
Okay.
that's another goal of mine, is to see what to do
Okay.
from here on out.
Alright.
Fix me, and then what do I do?
Right. Right. And which is a good idea. It's good to have at least a good sense of self-control or a sense of stability so that you can help your clients. Do you feel that right now you have that sense of at least ability to regulate yourself?
Yeah, and I will. I mean, yeah, I should be able to with a couple days to just,
Okay.
because then my focus is on just that situation and getting back from that.
Okay. Okay. Do you have any plans for your? I know you just were allotted your time off a couple hours ago, but do you have any plans? What you're gonna do the next few days?
Sleep in.
You're gonna sleep in. Yeah.
Yeah, no 5 a.m. Alarm clock.
A 5 a.m. alarm clock. And you gonna do anything good for yourself other than sleep in?
Yeah, maybe I'll just sit down and read my books again. I don't know, just
Yeah.
follow up and maybe look into the protocol again and just to review the procedures again, just
Okay.
to make myself feel comfortable.
Okay. Okay. And also to not to add any more weight on your shoulders, but just remember the company policy on we got incident report
Oh, okay.
within
Yeah.
24 hours. So if you
Yeah.
want to talk to your supervisor before you leave today, you can fill it out. It'd be a half hour. I mean,
Yeah,
you could come in tomorrow to fill it out, but you probably might want to get it done today.
Yeah.
But you can
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'll just get it done and I'll hand it in before I leave.
Okay, good. And like I said, before we leave, I'll give you your information for EAP,
Okay.
and then you can leave for the day. And then upon your return, you'll come back. Let's do kind of this real quick, kind
Just
of see
check in.
where you are exactly, and
Okay.
then you'll have your supervision, and I'm sure things will work out just fine for you.
Feel better
Yeah.
a little bit right now.
Yeah.
It was nice to just kind of. I mean, it just happened, but it's.
Yeah. You're a new counselor, like I said, and this stuff doesn't happen all the time.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it happens to you.
luck, like
Yeah.
picking straws.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, this can be an
Take the short
opportunity for you, because a lot of counselors have not had this happen, and because it hasn't happened, they haven't learned to process these types of situations. So, I mean, you can look at it in a couple different ways.
I'll take it positively, and I'll tell them if it happens to them that they'll be okay.
Good. All right. Well, Elizabeth, it was nice talking to you.
Yes.
Darlene, it was nice talking to you. Enjoy your couple of days off.
Thank you.